Hey, good morning, folks. Thought it's time now to show you my garden. This year we made the decision to put in a hoop or tunnel house. Primary purpose will be to extend our winter or spring season and our fall season. We were not able to utilize it this spring, but we're excited and looking forward to utilizing it this fall. Here, we're trying to amend this soil here. We have some compost from, not compost, but manure from the barn. That's sheep manure. Then here, we've started some basil. Sweet basil or sweet Italian basil. And what else do we have here? Lemon balm. So we have some herbs going there. Here we have some remnants of Swiss chard and turnip greens. They didn't do too well, so we just opted just to put them in the ground here, and they seem to be responding. Here we have 2, 3, 4, 3 rows of red onions, and the rest of these are white onions. So we're looking to do quite well with that. What I'm going to do is, once these things take over pretty good, I'm going and maybe every 2 inches or 4 inches, I'll thin these out so it'll allow those bulbs to get really big. We won't look at pulling those out of there until September or October. So hopefully have some really huge balls, onion balls, bulbs. Here we are growing broccoli. They look really well. It's first season to do broccoli. We have one broccoli head here, and the rest are slow to emerge. So let's see how that goes. Now here we have 9 hills of zucchini and squash, the squash family. We have the hawthorn or squash here, hills. Maybe you can't see it, but there's one there. There's a second one there, and there is the third one. That's coming up so far. We have 2, put 3 or 4 seeds in each mound. We have 2 coming here. I may thin that out. Here's coming 1 here. That one's fine. And it looks like we have something emerging here as well. So that's coming along quite well. Zucchini and squash is here. That's squash, yellow squash, and then there's zucchini back there. So I want to use every square inch of this. I think, and next year we'll put trellis on the side of the tunnel and do some peas over there or po beans over there. I also want to do later on is that I want to put in right next to those containers there. I want to put in some peppers, 2 or 3 varieties of peppers, hot peppers that is. Now over here where we have our electric fence protecting our garden, today we just attempted to string or to I don't know how you call it, but to put something in place, brace to catch our tomato plants so that they don't just fall on the ground. And we opted to use twine to do that. We started at 6 inches and come up every 6 inches, maybe a little bit more than 6 inches from here to there, but for the large part every 6 inches. We'll see how this goes. We tried a number of methods over the years, and so we're going to try this. Hopefully we have some success with this. If anybody's interested in this electrical fence, it's a Gallagher portable solar energy fence with S22. I don't think they make this anymore, but I think it's 1 ohm, or I'm not quite sure the knowledge, but you can kind of find the reference here. But that's how we're protecting what's going on over here. So let's see here. You can look at cabbage is taken off here. Here we have kale. Then here under the netting is collard greens. Then over here we have cucumbers, and they're doing quite well. Let me get over and give you a closer view of both our cabbage and kale. There's our cabbage. We're gonna harvest some of this kale Friday. We're gonna start trying to do in the neighborhood, try to do some subscriptions. These cabbage looks good. Can't wait to start seeing the heads of cabbage. They hadn't developed yet, but we're gonna do these cabbage. We're gonna take cabbage. I'm sorry, this is kale, not the cabbage. We're gonna take the kale, and I'll show you the collard greens here. And our collard greens. Oh, sorry about that. Harvest those babies. Doing that so we can keep the bugs down. But there's a kale. And then there's our collards. And here, first year I've grown this, but here is my Swiss chard. And man, they look good. Look at that. They're coming along quite nice. I should be able to, maybe a couple weeks to be able to harvest a few of those stalks. Now, here's our cucumbers. Here, let me see, from here down, about midway of this cattle panel, you got two T-posts there in the middle of that. From here down, you have pickling cucumbers. These will sit in a small, maybe a paint jar, and you can just put those in there. You won't have to cut them off. They'll be 5 to 6 inches. But then on the other side of those cucumbers are slicers. They'll grow 8, 7 to 8 inches. These are supposed to be 5 to 6 inches. So we'll see how that goes. But they're coming along quite nicely. I'm going to harvest those Friday. Hope you can see those. They look good. They're starting to have some blight on them, but I think that's because of the raining we have. We're in Kentucky, and since the beginning of June, we've had 8 inches of rain. That's insane. Absolutely insane. Man, look at those flowers. A bunch of cucumbers will be coming off of here pretty soon. There's that one down here. There you go. There's this baby here. We love cattle panels. They're expensive, but they tend to get the job done. That should be taken off pretty soon. So that's this garden here. Then you come up, and then you have a bigger garden. This is the garden we started with. And here we have green peppers. This row right here would be green peppers, but then at the end of that row is pole beans. And the end of this row is pole beans as well. So we'll get cattle panels in there pretty soon. And then here we have bush beans. You can't go wrong with green beans. And then here we'll start a new roll of collard greens, and then we'll run those into the fall. And then our corn. is over here. And then you have a small bed right here in front. We harvested about 6 to 8 pints of strawberries this season out of that bed. It was a really productive bed. So that's the big garden down in the end down there across the back. Let's go take a look at that. Is our potatoes. Let's go take a look at that. Okay, here's our potato bed. We have a handful of potatoes here. We have white potatoes and red potatoes, and the small golden potatoes are planted in here. Last year was our most productive year of potatoes, so we opted to go at it again. We're working on 2 new beds here, and we hope to put in some raspberries and those sort of things there. And then here's another bed. So next spring we'll bring these beds on pretty good. We plowed this, and then we brought our manure and set on top of it. So we'll work this in over the year, over the summer. But here is the conclusion of our review of our spring garden. It's coming along quite nicely. And if you have any questions, post them in the comments, and we'll respond when we get a chance. Talk to you later.